Welcome, middle school and high school CTE and middle school science, to our first flip department meeting of the school year. I want to first and foremost start off by thanking each and every one of you for welcoming me into your department with open arms. I am just so excited to work with each of you and with departments that I know have a great tradition here at Lake Braddock. This flip meeting model is something that's brand new to me, so I hope that I will get better at it as we continue to move throughout the school year. But this is really interesting for me because I'm filming this on Thursday, knowing that you all are going to watch it on Monday after our first face-to-face department meeting. So I'm hoping that you're watching this, leaving that department meeting feeling very enthusiastic and inspired and ready to tackle the 2017 school year, because I definitely am, and I'm really excited to get to work and for our kids to come and to have an amazing year. So I wanted to reiterate some of the goals of the flip meeting. The first is to honor your time as teachers. I know time is really valuable, so hopefully this is a way to alleviate some of that burden of all the meetings that we need to participate in, and that you can get all the important information through this flip meeting model. The second thing is to promote the use of technology. Technology is certainly here to stay, and is an essential skill our kids need to have leaving Lake Braddock. And so hopefully I'm inspiring each one of you to integrate more and more technology into your classroom. And if you need more support in that capacity, please see me and I can point you in the right direction to the fabulous resources that we have here at Lake Braddock. So before we get started on really important information for the school year, I want to reiterate two of the themes that we just discussed in our first department meeting, and the first being love. And it is my belief that love is an essential component of education, and that we must love kids unconditionally on the great days and even on the most challenging days. We also must love our content, and that should shine through in our presentation styles and our creative activity and the fun that we create in our classrooms. And lastly, we must love each other. If we can love our kids, if we can love our content, and we love each other, I believe the sky's the limit for the success we can have this year. So the second thing we discussed in the department meeting was the idea of accountability. And I believe high-functioning teams have strong accountability. And so accountability can sometimes seem to have this negative connotation, but I believe accountability is best achieved through authentic, meaningful, and effective communication. And as I kind of modeled for each of you in our first department meeting, this idea of 360 feedback, that's going to be one of our goals for this year, is that you guys are communicating with me as much as I'm communicating with you, and students are communicating to you as much as you are communicating to them, and to parents and to community members and to other school stakeholders. And so 360 feedback is an expectation that I have for everybody, and I will commit to each and every one of you to be an effective communicator, to be a reflective listener, and a great colleague. And so I'm so excited to continue to develop and enhance this culture of love and accountability in both the CTE department and the middle school science department. So now we're going to move to the information part of this flip meeting, and I apologize in advance for the lengthiness of it. There's a lot of information I need to get to you. So sit back, relax, and feel free to email me or come by and see me if you have any questions concerning the information that I am providing you. So let's get started. All right, first let's talk attendance. Attendance is one of our major concerns at Lake Braddock, and we need to continue to really find ways to support our students and families who struggle with the attendance component to school. And so it's really, really important that we all are taking attendance each and every day within the first 15 minutes of class. Students who arrive late to first period will receive a pass from security from the kiosk. All other students after first period who arrive late will check in the sub-schools, and you should receive a normal pass from the sub-school. Please, when taking attendance, do not use class cut as one of the codes. Please use only unverified or unexcused when marking absences. Administration will change the coding to class cut once an investigation is had and we find, in fact, that the student did cut the class. A couple other reminders: please remember that attendance is uncoupled from grades, and that to please communicate with parents ahead of time before sending a referral to administration about a student who's not coming to school. You guys are our first line of defense, and it goes a long way with the parents when messages are coming from teachers out of concern and well-being in their class versus the administrative realm. But we're certainly here to support you, so please do so. When you do find out those students who are missing excessively or excessively tardy to class, you may start off by sending a referral to Mr. Desmond Dawkins if it's a high school student who will be handling a lot of truancy and attendance type issues, or Mr. Scott Darwin in the middle school who will be handling attendance issues for the middle school side. Referrals. Referrals are going to be done slightly different this year in that we expect all teachers to use the traditional referral template form found under LBSS shortcut on your desktop, then awards and form when submitting referral about an incident within the classroom. Simply fill out the form in its entirety, look at the top of the page, click the link to the appropriate administrator, and it will send the referral via email directly to the administrator's inbox. Thank you. All right, let's talk Bruin Block. Bruin Block was a period specifically designed over 10 years ago to allow for teachers to specifically target students who are struggling in their class. This year, Bruin Block will occur on the first period of Gold Days and run from 8 to 9:33. The first half will be teacher-directed time, and the second half will be student-directed time. All students will have the opportunity to flex out during the second half with a green pass. Please, as a reminder, do not put students in the middle of the Bruin Block procedures between teachers. Solve them teacher by teacher in a professional manner. Second, if a Bruin Block occurs on an off period or a planning period, please still invite students who you need into your class during the second half of the student-directed time, or even during the whole period if coordinated with the teacher in advance. One last reminder is to remember that students who are in PE will attend Bruin Block the entire time and will not flex out unless advanced coordination happens with that specific PE teacher. Okay, the course syllabus. Each course is required to have a course syllabus. Please refer to the virtual opening for the expectations for the course syllabus. One of the new things this year is that we will be housing a common syllabus for the school so that you don't have to include things on your syllabus that pertain to the school in general, things like the honor code or the 5 core values. Again, please refer to the virtual opening for the course syllabus. Your course syllabus is due to me for review by Friday, September 1st. Welcome to Challenge Accepted. Challenge Accepted will be segments throughout the year where I will challenge you as a teacher to maybe try something that is non-traditional or outside of your comfort zone. So my first challenge to you is, can you have a syllabus-free first day of school? Kids will never be more excited than the first day of school, and what do we tend to do as teachers? We hit them with the syllabus and the rules and regulations of the class. Create a learning activity that promotes fun and excitement for the school year. My second challenge is to have a paperless and a paper-free syllabus. Review the syllabus with students during class and then make it available online for them to review throughout the course of the year and for parents to review. You can also mention this during your back to school night that the syllabus is made available online via parent view on the Blackboard site. Can you handle the challenge? TPEP. TPEP is our formal evaluation system which has moved online about 3 years ago. Remember, all teachers are required to submit a formative goal and to measure progress throughout the year. For those who will be on summative, you'll be receiving an email from me inviting you into our first initial evaluation summative meeting sometime within the first 3 weeks of the school year, and I will give you much more information about that as we get rolling into the school year. IEPs and 504s. Remember, it's a law. All students who are found eligible for accommodations within the classroom must have those needs met. All teachers must read IEPs and 504s for each and every student. IEPs are now made available through SIS, and you can view them under the attendance view when you take attendance in the upper right-hand corner. All 504s will be sent to you individually from that student's counselor. You will be receiving an email from an administrator if you have a student who has been assigned AIA, which is part of the day, or in-school suspension, which is full day. If you have a student who is a special education student who has been assigned in-school suspension, we are required by law to meet the needs of that student's IEP hours, and we ask that you visit that student to see if they need any assistance during your off period that day. Second, Please be sure to send work in a reasonable amount of time when receiving the email, either to Brendan DeBerry, drop it down to D130, or bring paper copies or hard copies to that student's sub-school. Thank you. It is expected that all teachers utilize Blackboard. The minimum expectation for Blackboard is that you have your contact information available for students and parents. You have a calendar of tests, quizzes, and dates or major projects and major deadlines. One announcement weekly. Your syllabus and other classroom-related documents. And daily and weekly assignments posted. If you use Google Classroom, please have directions on Blackboard to forward parents and students to your Google Classroom. If you remember back to last year, the county created a way that progress reports will be sent to families on a weekly basis. However, it will just spell out the letter grade for each class. It will not break down class assignments and show missing assignments. So one of the expectations at Lake Braddock is that we send progress reports at the midterm and right before final grades are posted for each quarter. Again, we highly encourage you to send progress reports on a bi-weekly basis so parents have an understanding of missing assignments, but the expectation at minimum is that teachers are sending progress reports at the mid-year and right before final grades are posted for each quarter. If you can remember back to last year, the first 7 Bruin blocks of the school year are used for SR&R and Bruin block lessons. The administration pulls out full grades to the Little Theater and reviews the expectations laid out in the SR&R. All of this is written explicitly for you under the virtual opening and what lessons you will teach during the first 7 Bruin blocks of the year. I want to remind you that the first Bruin block, which will be August 29th, you will administer the SR&R test and show the sexual harassment video, which is all available to you on the Google virtual opening. Thank you. All schools are required to administer different types of drills throughout the school year, from fire drills to tornado drills to lockdown drills. All schools are also required to hold 1 fire drill for the first 4 weeks of the school year. It is the expectation of the administration that each teacher takes attendance during each fire drill and hands them to the roster to the closest administrator when entering back into the building. To make this process easy for you, my suggestion is to print out a ton of roster sheets for each period and place them in your crisis plan folder, which should be hanging right next to your door. When a fire drill happens, you'll just reach in to there, grab the appropriate roster, and head outside with your students and take attendance outside, and then hand the roster sheet back to the administrator. All subfolders are due on August 24th to the appropriate subschool. Middle school and high school CTE, you will send those to subschool 3. Middle school science, you will send those to subschool 1. Within your subfolder, you must have a copy of the rosters for each class and also a backup subplan in the case that you are unable to leave a subplan the night before in the case of an emergency. Last but not least, please make sure that you have read and you fully understand Mr. Thomas's memo number 1. And if you have any questions, please feel free to come see me. Second, please make sure that you go through the virtual opening and you understand all of the expectations for the start of the school year. And last but not least, I am wishing you the best of luck at the start of the school year and a great school year. I'm so ready to go and I hope you're ready to go. So let's do this and let's rock 2017.